Hey everyone, Reassembly here, making a video. You probably noticed I have my Saffun Gamecube Switch USB controller I did an unboxing of, and you may be wondering, well, you probably noticed I have a screwdriver here. I'm not going to take this apart because this requires a knife, and taking it apart may be easy, but putting it back together without super glue, it would probably come apart. It's just your typical USB board that you get with most of these controllers that you connect this to Switch. But I did connect this to my computer and my Switch. Works great on Switch. My computer, I've been having a bit of issues, but I don't use it for my computer. I use it for my GameCube and my Switch. So, before we take this guy apart, let's take a look at the innards of this GameCube receiver. And unlike the official Wavebird, before I get to that, let me show you. It looks similar to your Wavebird. You have a connect button here, a USB-C connector there, because in case you need to do updates, you're able to do that. And unlike the Wavebird, this uses Phillips screws, just like the black generic controller and the TJ'sTech that I had, which both stopped working, unfortunately. I tried doing that mod, or that trick with switching out the sticks with official Nintendo joysticks. Unfortunately, the board got messed up for that. So, but I will tell you, it can be done as long as you don't break a trace. Otherwise, you'd have to retrace on the board, and it's not that easy doing that. This thing does not want to come out. There, I had to push that out on the other side. It comes apart. You've got two screws here. If the posts are loose, you would take those off. And over here is your board with the USB-C. So, you got your 3.5 volt data, ground, and 5 volt. The white is 5 volt. If you have this and you're broke and yours is broken and you want to resolder the wires, the 5 volt is white, the first ground is yellow, the second ground is black, the data is orange, or red, and green is your 3.5 volts. I'm not going to further disassemble this because if you've seen most generic controller USB receivers, they're all the same. It's just this one has an additional, well, USB-C connector for connecting to your computer, and since I actually still use this frequently, I'm not going to take any further apart. But if this helps you get yours back together or fixed, then you're welcome. So let's put these back on. Oh, and another thing, if yours, the receiver, is coming out loosely through the sheet right here, you want to bend the two pins. Mine doesn't have that issue, luckily. So anyway, now let's get to the most exciting part. This has a rechargeable battery, and you may notice it has two Z buttons. There's a reset button, that little place where you stick a toothpick in, or a really tiny screwdriver. That's your reset button. And just like most generic wireless GameCube controllers, this thing has Phillips screws. And I like this controller way better than my old TJ'sTech and the other generic ones. So I'm actually glad I bought this for 40 bucks on Amazon. It was on sale too. Of course, I could have gotten the clear yellow, but this was on sale, so I went for the purple color. Well, indigo, purple, blue, whatever you'd call it. The color looks like Blaze the cat from Sonic, and if you were to put a picture for comparison, you may say, hey, it looks a bit like her. Yeah. That's the only thing I can think of with this shade of purple. But I'm sure most of you figured that out. Unless you can think of any other characters. Oh, and Maybe Big from the Sonic games as well, but I think Blaze is cooler than Big. Big wasn't one of my favorite Sonic characters. Blaze is one of my choices in the Mario Sonic and Olympic games, just because I think she's awesome. And, well... Oh, that screw does not want to come out. It's like that one in the receiver. Okay, well I guess I'm going to have to leave that in here. Oh, but other than that, what's nice about this, the wire is not attached right on the back, as you can see. It's nicely constructed. There we go. Got that screw out. You got the back piece right here. And just like most, just like your typical GameCube or your official GameCube controllers, this has a little plastic thing covering the shoulder buttons. And if you wanted to use that metal rod, you could put that there. You have your C stick here, your data connector here, your sliders for your L and R buttons. Interesting. The L and R buttons normally are supposed to be like a piece right there that if you were to take apart official GameCube controller, these pieces right here, there would be well, a board and no, if that shows the L and R buttons. Here's the innards of what the controller looks like. You got your power switch. I'll move this to the side. Oh, and by the way, no, you can't stick official GameCube sticks in here because this is different. Well, GameCube caps, because these are molded differently, as you can tell. And also, the tips are plastic. I mean, you could swap the C in the left, but why would you want to do that? And taking my C button is not that easy. You got start, select, home, and KVIB, which that means your screenshot button. Up, down, left, right. Your 4 players, but if you're using this on the GameCube, you get the 1 player. The rechargeable battery is underneath here. That's what that wire is for. That's your reset button. This is your rumble pack. I don't know if you can use official Nintendo rumble pack in here. This one actually works really nicely. Now let me show you the buttons when you take them out. These are your select, start, home, and screenshot buttons. Only the start button works if you're using it on a GameCube. Right here is your directional pad. This, I think you can put an official Nintendo one in here. This one works just as good, if not better than the legit Nintendo one, so I'm not going to swap it. And then you got your face buttons. I actually like how the feeling of these buttons feel. You could stick official Nintendo buttons in here. Try at your own risk. I don't have I don't have a set of official Nintendo buttons on hand, or from a donor controller. But other than that, that's what the inside of this controller looks like. And now I'm going to go ahead and put it back together, because I still use this controller when I play Kirby Air Ride and a few others. This is the model YDTGCFS-0402A Revision A. Let's go ahead and seat this back on. Don't want to break the vibration on this. That's the wires to the rumble pack, as you can tell. To line these up properly. Don't want to do it all wrong, because then I wasted my money. I spent good money on this, and this was a definite good buy. You know, spent good money on this. It was worth the 40 bucks. You could get this without these, either the GameCube or this USB adapter. I went for both because unlike the Retrobit N64 controller my friend got me as a present, I had to go through 2 of them, and unfortunately the adapter that's supposed to connect to the N64 is not being detected by my computer, and now the thing is pretty much useless. But this is actually useful. It works for both my GameCube and my Switch, so yeah, if anyone knows how to fix that retro-bit wireless N64 controller, I guess my only option is to, well, replace it with one by, well, I'm just going to go for the Retro Fighters wireless controller. I think I have the Z buttons backwards. I've done that before. So, I'm going to do a jump cut. I'll be right back. Okay, I had the Z buttons in the right spot. Turns out I actually had to fully reassemble this because otherwise it looks like there's a gap here, but that's just a design choice. So let's go ahead and put this back together. Oh, good, I have all the screws. We like that. I'll start with these 2 on the edges here. If the screw will go in all the way, and that'd be great. I should start with this one over here. There's one. Now we do this side. Just want to make sure that the screw is lined up properly, otherwise it's not going to close your controller. Now we'll do the 2 at the top. That way the Z buttons don't get stuck. You also want to make sure the sliders are in the up position, otherwise you'll think you've broken the L and R buttons, but they need to be lined up properly, otherwise they won't be registering properly. It'll act like you're pressing all the way down on the slider when you're not. So, there we have it. Put these back in here. And let's go ahead and put this back together. Alright. There we have it. That's me putting the Saffun Gamecube controller back together. Sorry I had to do a jump cut. I had to make sure everything was lined up properly because you don't want to put a controller back together that's not lined up properly. So, in conclusion, I still recommend the Saffun Gamecube controller. I've been playing countless hours of Kirby Air Ride with this controller. Also works with Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness. And unlike the TTX Tech and the old school Falcon and several other wireless controllers, this one actually does have rumble built into it. So, before any of you gripe and say any of the TTX and the old school Falcon controllers don't have vibration, this is an option you want to go for if you want a wireless controller that not only works for your GameCube but also works for a Nintendo Switch or PC. For my experience, this doesn't work on my PC, but I'll see if I can get it working on that. But I use this on my Switch and GameCube, so it's not a big deal to me. It may be to you, it may be, well, you may have a different experience than me, but I still recommend this. Definitely a great alternative to the Wavebird in case you can't find a Wavebird for dirt cheap. Sure, there's a bunch of other options like the 8-bit Do wireless controller. I do want to get my hands on that kit so I can actually take a broken GameCube controller and do that trick. But that's another story for another time. And of course you got the Retro Fighters wireless GameCube controller. That's also a good one as well. I love their Brawler 64 controller. So that's an option I may go for as well. Anyway, thanks for watching. This is ReekRox1 signing off.